Hello, I'm Frank Holland, anchor of Worldwide Exchange, and I'm here at the Salesforce World Tour event in New York City, and I'm joined by Slack CEO Lidiane Jones for an exclusive interview. Lidiane, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Frank.
All right, so we're here at the World Tour event in New York City. You also made some news today. You announced Slack GPT, with an estimated 90% of U.S. employees using some type of collaboration software in the office nowadays. How important is it to offer AI to be competitive in that space?
It's incredibly important, Frank, because today employees are spending way too much time on tasks that are incredibly mundane. So with Slack GPT, we're getting the opportunity to help our customers be more productive. And if you use Slack, you know how important it is to catch up with your colleagues, collaborate on content that you're working together. So Slack GPT is really going to change the game for productivity.
What separates Slack GPT from these other companies that have also announced AI capabilities? What's the differentiator?
A big differentiation for us is that we're not just a video conferencing platform, we are a productivity platform. So for Slack, we bring all of these different applications and connect to them across the enterprise. So Slack GPT is three major things for us. The embedded experiences that will help employees summarize channel, create content more effectively, but also the ecosystem so that we can bring AI across all of these applications. And finally, Einstein GPT, which really brings the best of CRM into Slack. So it's amplifying the power of Slack and Salesforce together.
Is this enterprise ready? We see with Chat GPT, it can have the quote-unquote hallucinations. You can get back information that's not quite accurate. How do you prevent that from happening with Slack GPT?
Well, the great news about Slack GPT is that it's really leaning on trusted customer data from CRM and Slack's context to help the technology use business guardrails for us to not get beyond context that doesn't make sense. And the other big thing for us, Frank, is that Salesforce has a ethical and humane office to help us develop products in a way that really is going to be trusted and safe for our customers.
So as I mentioned, we're here at your World Tour event in New York City. Over the last 6 months, there have been a lot of changes at Salesforce. You've had high-profile executives leave, including co-CEO Brett Taylor. You also had activist investors. That's been settled. A lot of people are calling this the new Salesforce. How does Slack GPT fit into the new Salesforce?
Well, I'm thrilled to be part of the new executive and new Salesforce team because we really are very focused on customer success and innovation. We just have had the most amount of innovation over the past year across Salesforce and Slack together. So it's really a new age of innovation for the company.
So when you talk about a new age of innovation, Salesforce is the by far leader when it comes to CRM software. But as I mentioned, you have a lot more competition when it comes to the area where Slack is in, enterprise collaboration. Do you see Slack GPT as a way to compete and drive revenues into Slack?
Well, it certainly is about amplifying the value of Salesforce and Slack together. So take, for example, a seller that really has to connect with customers from anywhere in the flexibility of the new way of working. Now we can bring that account and customer context right in the fingertips of that seller and everyone that person works with. The benefit of Salesforce CRM is that every line of business is using Salesforce today, and now Slack is going to amplify that value. So I think it's a bright future for us.
If you had to tell the investors of Salesforce what this could potentially mean, again, a lot of your competitors also have AI capabilities. What does this mean not only for Slack and your ability to sell Slack to customers, but also the broader ecosystem? Do you believe that Slack GPT can also drive sales for the other products like a Tableau or a MuleSoft?
Yeah, absolutely. Our focus is to help amplify the value for customers on the two things that customers are investing the most, technology and people. And now with Slack and Salesforce together, we can help customers connect those investments. Not only they can bring all of those applications to better use for their employees, but amplifying the productivity of employees. So every customer really needs the combination of this technology. I think it's going to be a game-changing technology and investment for customers.
So I think you're in a unique spot. You have really your finger on the pulse of technology spending when it comes to large enterprises. Obviously, you're trying to win customers from some other companies. We know some of your publicly traded customers. We're talking the Fords of the world, the Verizons, a lot of big name companies. What's the environment right now when it comes to tech spending and IT spending?
Well, what customers are doing is focusing on spending that is going to give them the benefit of return on investment. So there is a lot of more scrutiny towards making sure they're getting that return back. So for us, with announcements like today, we're really helping customers see the value of amplifying employee productivity that is completely relevant to what customers are thinking about today. And employee engagement as well, Frank. I think that's the other big important part for a lot of these companies.
More specifically, what are your customers saying to you about AI and how they want to use it and how they see it being used going forward?
Well, customers are thinking a lot about how's the new way of working going to be like? How are jobs going to evolve? And so they're really looking at us and technologies like this to help determine how are they going to help their employees elevate the value that they're bringing to their organization. And I think employees are going to love it too, because the reality is we're spending way too much time on repetitive tasks, and we have now the ability to be really doing the best work of our lives, because this technology has an incredible potential to help us do that.
So this week we heard from a company that Slack's very familiar with, IBM. And they talked about slowing down hiring for jobs that might be disrupted by AI. So again, what are your customers saying about their hiring and how AI can either supplement their workforce or maybe change the way they see their workforce?
Yeah, IBM is one of our best customers and partners, so I'm glad you brought them up. They are completely innovating their company using Slack with automation. And what they are able to do is help the customers, the employees that they have today, be more efficient. So it's not just about being able to grow, it is about making the teams that you have the most productive possible. I think that's a great sign for the company and the employees that they have today.
Do you have other customers sending you a similar message that they want to get your products in with AI to see how it can either help them either reduce the workforce or slow down on hiring until they can just see the power of AI and just how either disruptive or innovative, depending on the way you look at it, it will be?
Every CEO that I've had the opportunity to speak to over the last few months are trying to learn how to use the technology responsibly, but also how they are redefining the way the employees that they're going to need to hire, the skill set that they're going to have. So it's absolutely top of mind for every executive that I've had a chance to meet. But I think it's early. I think a lot of companies are still going to determine what jobs, what functions are going to evolve, how to equip their own employees with the learning. But it's moving quickly, which is exciting as well.
All right, so I'll give you one last word. You can talk to the investors and give them a sense of what AI means for Salesforce and what Slack GPT means for the entire portfolio of Salesforce products.
Well, I am thrilled to be here in New York, and what I'm most excited about is that we are embracing, this is a new era of generative experiences for all of Salesforce, and we're bringing the power of the entire portfolio, Slack, and the entire Salesforce ecosystem to embrace the technology in a customer-trusted way.
We'll have to leave the conversation there. You have a keynote to do.
I have a keynote to run to.
Lidiane Jones, CEO of Slack, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for watching.